Students, today we shall look into some of the MCQs on electric charge. First, we shall recall the formula list that we had learnt in the electric charges and fields chapter. Q is plus or minus n into E, where n is an integer, E is the charge, fundamental value of charge, that is the charge on a proton or an electron. Then second one, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r to Q1 Q2 by r square. If you remember, this is Coulomb's inverse square law. F is the force acting between two charges. Epsilon naught is the absolute permittivity of free space, whose value is 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton per meter square. Q1 and Q2 are the magnitude of two charges. R is the distance separating the two charges. Remember, Coulombic force is a mutual force. That means the magnitude of force acting on both the charges would be the same. Also, Coulomb's law obeys Newton's third law. Then epsilon r is called as relative permittivity or dielectric constant. The value of relative permittivity for air is 1, and for all other media it would be greater than 1. Also, whenever you have 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, if you substitute for epsilon naught and simplify, you will get it approximately to be equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9. So, for all situations in numerical problems, whenever you come across 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, you can directly substitute it as 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Also, epsilon, the permittivity of a medium, is given by epsilon naught into epsilon r. So, epsilon naught is absolute permittivity of free space and epsilon r is the relative permittivity of the given medium. Also, relative permittivity or dielectric constant of a medium is given by the ratio of the force acting between the two charges kept at a certain distance apart in air to the force between the same two charges kept at the same distance apart in the given medium. These are some of the formulae that you come across in the study of electric charges. Now we shall look into some of the MCQs on electric charges. First one, when a glass rod is rubbed with silk, it acquires positive charge because, see, when you rub glass rod with silk, it so happens that some of the electrons from glass rod will be transferred onto the silk. Therefore, now the glass rod becomes positively charged. See, initially before rubbing, both glass rod and silk were electrically neutral. When you rub both against each other, electrons gets transferred from glass rod to silk. That means now the glass rod is deficient of electrons. That means it is positively charged, and the silk is having excess of electrons. That means it becomes negatively charged. But the glass rod becomes positively charged as the electrons are removed from it. So the choice should be C. Then the second question, the number of electrons contained in 1 coulomb of charge equals, choices, given choices, 6.25 into 10 to the power of 17, 6.25 into 10 to the power of 18, 6.25 into 10 raised to 19, 1.6 into 10 raised to 19. So here the charge is said to be 1 coulomb. You know that the fundamental value of charge is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. How many electrons are there in 1 coulomb of charge? That is to be found. So I will make use of the principle that charge is quantized. Q is n into E, or n is Q by E. Q is 1 coulomb divided by E. E is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. 1 by 1.6 is 0.625. So 0.625 into 10 raised to minus 19 goes to numerator. It becomes 10 raised to plus 19. Or this can also be written as, see, if you shift one decimal here, it becomes 6.25. When you look at the given choices, you have three choices, 6.25. But this 10 raised to 19 now becomes 10 raised to 18. So 6.25 into 10 raised to 18. So it should be choice B, the correct answer. Then the next question, third one. A charge Q is placed at the center of the line joining two equal charges Q. The system of the three charges will be in equilibrium if Q is equal to. So here you have a system of three charges. I have considered 2 points A and B where you have charges capital Q and capital Q. Now you place a charge of small q at the center C. So when you say C is at the center, AC is equal to CB. So I have just called the distance from A to C as x. So from C to B will also be x. That means the distance between A and B will be 2 times x. Now the question is, when will be the system of the charges equilibrium, at equilibrium, for what value of small q? The system of these three charges will be in equilibrium. When do you say the system of charges are in equilibrium? The system of charges are said to be in equilibrium if the net force acting on each charge is 0. That means the force acting on the charge at A, or the force acting on the charge at B, or the net force acting on charge at C. The net force on either of these charges must be equal to 0. We will study the force on one of the charges. I will consider the equilibrium situation on the charge at B. So when you think of the charge at B, what are all the forces acting on the charge at B? The force acting on charge at B due to the charge at C, and the force acting on the charge at B due to the charge at A. We know that the charge at B and A are equal in magnitude and similar to each other. That means charge at A and B would repel each other. So the force acting on charge at B due to charge at A would be repulsive. I have written it as FA in this direction. Naturally, if charge at B has to be in equilibrium, the same force has to act on B but in opposite direction. So the force on charge at B due to charge at C is in this direction, opposite to the force on B due to charge at A. So FC and FA must be equal, but they should be acting in opposite direction. So for equilibrium condition, magnitude of FA should be equal to magnitude of FC. So magnitude of FA means force acting on B due to charge at A. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 Q into Q square divided by D square. What is D between A and B? It is 2x. 2x square is 4x square. This should be equal to FC. FC is the force acting on B due to charge at C. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q into Q divided by x square. So now you can observe 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught gets cancelled. 1 Q gets cancelled. X square gets cancelled. What is being left over? Q by 4 will be equal to Q. That is what is being left over. Since you have all the charges, since you have the forces in opposite direction, you should say Q should be negative. Then only this can be, the force can be in this direction. Therefore, Q is minus Q by 4. So among the given choices, it is minus q by 4. Choice B. Solution should be of choice B. Next, fourth one. The ratio of the forces between two small spheres with constant charge in air and then in a medium of dielectric constant K is. So you have a charge. This you have two spheres and they are charged spheres. These two charged spheres are kept at some distance apart in air, and so now they experience some force. Now the same two charged spheres are kept at the same distance apart in a medium of some dielectric constant K. So now the question is, what is the ratio of the force acting between the two charges in air to the medium? So Fa by Fm, we already know that it is equal to the relative permittivity epsilon r. In this case it is equal to K. So Fa by Fm is K by 1, or Fa is to Fm is K is to 1. So your answer should be solution B. Next, fifth one. 2 point charges plus 4 millicoulomb and plus 2 millicoulomb repel each other with a force of 8 Newton. If a charge of minus 4 millicoulomb is added to each of these charges, the force would be. So see, in fact, if you have such questions, you don't have to work out, you should be able to answer it directly. When you add minus 4 millicoulomb to plus 4 millicoulomb, what would be the net charge? It will be 0, and naturally the force would be 0 because Coulombic force is given by F is K into Q1 Q2 by D square. So since one of the charges becomes 0, force would also be 0. So you can directly say the answer should be choice A. Now we shall analyze this. So before adding the charge, F1 is K into Q1 Q2 by D square, or K into Q1 is 4 millicoulomb into Q2 is 2 millicoulomb by D square. So 8K by D square. I have just ignored that milli in both the cases because certainly it gets cancelled when you take the ratio. Now after adding the charge, F2 would be K into Q1 dash into Q2 dash by D square. What is Q1 dash? Plus 4 millicoulomb minus 4 millicoulomb. It should be 0. Q2 dash is minus 4 plus 2 millicoulomb minus 4 millicoulomb, that is minus 2 millicoulomb. So F2 would be K into 0 into 2 millicoulomb by D square, which should be equal to 0. Next one. Two point charges certain distance apart in air repel each other with a force F. A glass plate is introduced between the charges. The force becomes F dash where. So naturally, see, the given answers are F dash will be less than F, F dash will be equal to F, F dash will be greater than F, or data is insufficient to decide. Understand the situation. You have 2 point charges. They are kept at some distance apart in air. So some force acts between them. Let us call it as F. Now we introduce a glass plate between the charges. So when you introduce a glass plate between the charges, what happens? When you introduce a glass plate between the charges, naturally epsilon r is introduced. So when epsilon r is introduced, you know that F is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r. So epsilon r will be in the denominator, so force decreases. Hence the force between the charges decreases. So it should be solution A. F dash should be less than F. Next, force between two charges separated by a certain distance in air is F. If each charge were doubled and distance between them is also doubled, then what will be the new force? Given answers are F, it remains to be the same, or it becomes 2F, 4F, or F by 4. So initially, let us say the two charges were Q1 and Q2. So F is given by F1. I will call it as the initial force as F1, K into Q1 Q2 by d square. Now, when both the charges are doubled, what happens? F2 equals K into 2Q1 into 2Q2, and the distance is also doubled, 2d whole square. So F2 is K into 2 into 2 is 4. 4 into Q1 Q2 by 4d square. 4 gets cancelled. So again F2 is K into Q1 Q2 by d square, which is same as F1. So F2 would remain same as F1, that is, which is equal to F. So the solution is A, choice A. Next one, on charging by conduction, mass of a body may increase, decrease, increase or decrease, none of these. See, when you say you are charging a body by conduction, the body may get either positively charged or negatively charged. So when you say the body has got positively charged, what do you mean by saying this? You mean to say that the body has lost some electron to the body, to the charging body. So when it has lost electrons, naturally its mass decreases. Whereas if you say a body has become negatively charged, that means electrons have been added onto the body from the charging body. So due to the addition of electrons, the mass increases. So both is possible, either increase or decrease when charging by conduction takes place. So I repeat, that depends upon whether the body has become positively charged or negatively charged. If the body has become positively charged, the mass of the body decreases. And if the body has become negatively charged, the mass of the body increases. So both are possible, increase or decrease. Then, if a body is positively charged, then it has, see, if a body is positively charged, you mean to say it has lost electrons, or it has, when it has lost electrons, you mean to say it has excess of protons. So, or deficiency of electrons. So when a body has is positively charged, you mean to say the body is having excess of protons. So solution, it should not be C, it should be B. So solution should be equal to B. If a body is positively charged, then it has excess of protons. Then there are two charges, plus 1 microcoulomb and plus 5 microcoulomb. The ratio of the forces acting on them will be, I told you while discussing about the formula in this chapter, that when you say force is, electrostatic force is acting between the two charges, both the charges experiences the same force. If the Coulombic force is mutual in nature. So when you say the force between Q1 and Q2, the force acting on Q1 will be same as the force acting on Q2, but it will be in opposite directions. That is why we say that Coulombic force obeys Newton's third law. That means both the charges experiences the same force. So the ratio of the forces acting between the two charges would be 1:1. So it should be choice B. Then two charges are placed a certain distance apart. A metallic sheet is placed between them. What will happen to the force between the charges? See, when you place a metallic plate between the two charges, there will be charging by induction taking place on the metallic plate. Hence, the distance between the two charges becomes here when the metallic plate is being introduced. In a simple way, you can think of relative permittivity. The relative permittivity for metallic plate is infinity. Hence, force, you know that F is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r into Q1 Q2 by r square. Since epsilon r becomes infinity, the force between the charges becomes 0. Among the given choices, you can say the force decreases, because the given choices are increases, remains unchanged, decreases, either A or B. Certainly the force decreases between the two charges when a metal plate is introduced, because epsilon r, that is relative permittivity for a metal, is infinity. Next problem. An attractive force of 5 Newton acting between two charges of plus 2 millicoulomb and minus 2 millicoulomb placed at some distance. If the charges are mutually touched and placed again at the same distance, the new force will be. See, an attractive force of 5 Newton is acting between the two charges of plus 2 millicoulomb and minus 2 millicoulomb. They are placed at some distance. If the charges are mutually touched and placed again at the same distance, the new force would be. See here, very easily you can say the force would become 0, because when you touch the two charges, what will be the net charge? Plus 2 millicoulomb minus 2 millicoulomb. The net charge becomes 0, and hence no force acts between the two charges. So F would be equal to 0. Okay, students, we have discussed few of the MCQs. These are the basic type of MCQs in electric charge. We will discuss few more in the coming classes. Also, I will be posting few questions as assignment. Later on, we can discuss the solution of them. Thank you.